Welcome you all for the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter. So before we start our session, let's take darshan of this Kanseshadripuram deities. जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेव, जय सुभद्रा माता की, सुदर्शन भगवान की जय, पंच तत्व की जय, चैतन्य निताय की जय, परशुराम भगवान की जय, वामन देव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we are dealing with the chapter number 18, the conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. So today's verse is 22nd verse. Yattu Krishnavat ekasvin karye saktam ahaitukam atatvarthavat alpam cha tattamasam udahritam. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mood of darkness. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna started telling about the knowledge. In fact, if you see, Krishna said that there is a jnana, karma, and karta will be in all three different modes. So he started explaining about the jnana in different modes. He has already explained in 20 and 21st verses the knowledge in goodness and knowledge in passion. So in this verse, he is explaining about the knowledge in ignorance. Knowledge in ignorance. Ignorance and knowledge both are opposite words. It seems like a paradox. Okay. Knowledge in ignorance means what? A knowledge which keeps us ignorant of higher truth is called the knowledge in ignorance. And generally, there are some characteristics for the knowledge in ignorance. In the first characteristic that Krishna is telling in this particular verse is atattva. Atattva means there is no real truth for this knowledge. That means it deals with partial truth, or it does not deal with the complete truth. So such a knowledge is called truthless, or maybe there is no tattva involved in that kind of knowledge. So kind of mundane knowledge is not the actual, complete truth. It deals only with the part of the reality. So such a knowledge is also meager. That's why Krishna mentioned in this verse as alpajnana. So such an alpajnana, it is an alpajnana because it's a mundane knowledge. It looks like we are progressing. So the material knowledge looks like we are progressing. But actually this knowledge creates illusion and makes us to attach to the temporary material existence. So the more we think that we are advanced materially, the less we think that we need God. So as you progress materially, or maybe the knowledge, material knowledge or material opulences that we have, causes us to go away from the God. So the real fact, the real higher value of the knowledge is completely lost. So that is also one of the characteristic of the knowledge which is in ignorance. And also another characteristic that Krishna mentioned here is ahaitikam. So in a sense, the ahaitikam is a positive word when we talk about devotional service. So the devotional service should be ahaitikam apratihata. So only then Krishna will be pleased. So that means the service that we are rendering should have no motivation and should be uninterrupted. So such a service is the great service. But whereas the ahaitikam word that is used in this particular context is saying about there is no ultimate cause for the knowledge that we are actually thinking that it is an ultimate. So we we are satisfied with the little bit of knowledge that enables us to manage our livelihood. So basically, if you see that if you see that you are happy with the senses and the kind of sense enjoyment that we are having, and the knowledge that we have is helping us to gain this kind of sense enjoyment, and then we think that this is very nice and this is helping us to live happily, and our lifestyle, our way of living, everything is it is up to our expectation, then we think that we are happy. So even the scientist also says that the knowledge is power. When this knowledge, the concept of such knowledge is for the purpose of living happily or enjoying in the life, then that knowledge is a mundane knowledge, and such a knowledge is actually does not give the actual value of the life. And people think that that is the only knowledge, there is nothing else beyond. So such a knowledge, when we think that, that's why Krishna says here that it is an ekasmin. Ekasmin is another characteristic of a mundane knowledge, or maybe the knowledge in the illusion, knowledge in the ignorance. So considering that the part of the reality is the total reality. So example is materialism. In the materialism, we consider that we are progressing. That's why we think that we should give up the old fashions, or maybe the rituals that people have been performing, or maybe pre-scientific or maybe mythological based living style, or maybe people will be thinking to give up all world way of living. The end result is that it leads for assuming a part of the reality is that matter. So they say that everything is matter, but everything is matter is not actually the total reality. So the matter is a part of the actual reality. A body is a matter, but thinking that body is everything is not actual reality. So body is only the outer covering of us. So when we think that we work only for the body, when we think that the body enjoyment, body pleasure is the actual pleasure, that means we are missing other part of our ourself. We are not actual body. So inner covering, inner substance is something different from outer covering. But if we think that outer covering is everything and the enjoyment is everything, then the knowledge that we gain is incomplete. So we are not matter-based creature, we are spirit souls. So matter is just outer covering. Inner substance is a soul. So when we mistake that the outer covering is not just the outer covering, and it is also an inner coverings, inner substances, then the whole knowledge is an illusion that leads for ignorance. And such ignorance causes us attachment, and that attachment causes us to live in this material world by taking birth and death again and again. So, so materialism explaining everything in terms of matter only, saying that there is a chemical and chemical reaction causes everything. Even the body, even the emotions also are because of chemical reactions. So even a mother having a emotion towards the son, or maybe a son having emotion towards the mother, is also because of chemical reaction. Because the mundane knowledge talks about only matter. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the such a knowledge which makes a person no better than animal or a donkey, because they are also affectionate towards their kids. They are also, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Beyond that, if a human being also does not do anything or does not gain the knowledge for a higher value, higher purpose, then that knowledge is not full in all, but they think that is the only total reality. So working hard is okay. Working hard is good, but working hard for a meaningful purpose is good. Otherwise, it is not valuable. So, so one should when one attaches to such a knowledge and think it is full in all, and that is called the knowledge in ignorance. That is the knowledge that Krishna is talking about in this particular verse. So Krishna is telling us to not live in ignorance. He is telling us to live in goodness. So the people generally say that the purpose of the human body is to just enjoy, and we are here just to enjoy. We have very short span of life, and in this short span of life, we should see everything. We should enjoy everything. So life is like an ice cream. So we should enjoy it before it melts. But so we actually leave the actual purpose of life, and then we enjoy in that way. So some people will work for themselves, their body only. That is almost like, selfish interest. They don't even think of their family. They don't even think of anything else. Their happiness is the most important for them, and they work for that. They enjoy in that way. And some people will think that along with me, my family, my son, my mother, my wife, my relations, their family. That is also a selfishness. Thinking just about the family does not mean that we are not selfish. Thinking about family is also selfishness. So some people think about, some beyond their family also. Maybe their community, maybe their society. So they will think that is also one type of selfishness only, but that is an extended selfishness. Some people think that beyond their society, beyond their community, they will also think for the interest of country. For the interest of country, they sacrifice their, enjoyment. They sacrifice their life also. So example for such a person is Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi think that the nation is important, and he has ignored his family also. So we think they are great people. But when we apply the knowledge that Krishna is giving, that the thinking about self, or thinking about family, thinking about society, thinking about country, is all, everything is selfish. It may be an extended selfishness. But if you are not thinking about soul, that means the knowledge, the hard work that you are performing is actually not full. That is not complete. That is not in goodness. That is in ignorance. So the interest of the knowledge should be to explore the self and to explore beyond the self, there is a God. So there is a body, there is a soul, there is a source of the soul and this body. So if we don't think about the soul and the source of the soul and this body, this material and this matter and this spirit, then only think that body is everything, then that is the ignorance. That is the ignorance. So, for example, from one of the story that if we want to take from Srimad Bhagavatam, um, Nalla Kuvera and Manikriva. So these two are the sons of Kuvera. So they think that the sense enjoyment is everything. There is nothing else beyond sense enjoyment. The body happiness, the bodily pleasure. So they enjoy with, Gandharva ladies. And when Narada Muni passed, while they were having a bath with Gandharva ladies, Narada Muni has seen them. So the moment when Narada Muni saw, then all the ladies, they covered themselves and they just went away from there. But whereas the Kuvera sons did not think in that way. They were enjoying in their world. So then Narada Muni said, you are in ignorance. So if you are thinking only about your body and body pleasure, that means you are in ignorance. You are even not caring about people passing by, and you are behaving in this ignorance. So you become a tree. Then they have taken birth as a tree in Vrindavan. So this is one type of knowledge that Krishna is talking about. So by this particular verse, Krishna completed talking about the knowledge in all three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So now Krishna started talking about action. So action in goodness, action in passion, action in ignorance. So next, from tomorrow onwards, we will see action in three different modes. Thank you very much. We'll stop the session here. If you have any questions or comments, we'll take. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyayo cha patita. Hare Krishna.